Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to the Autonomist Lounge. Well, I can honestly say that I had the pleasure of hosting the worst hangout I could have ever led, and it was nobody else's fault but mine's. I got a call from work after dinner where an associate needed me to guide them through a situation. It ran late, and I was helping from my PC. I figured I would reschedule the original Food for Thought hangout for Thursday night, where I wanted to talk about benevolent patriarchy and go at the talking points of misogynists. I rescheduled the hangout for next Thursday, then decided to put in its place an open mic just for 1 hour, as I knew the situation at work would have eaten into the first half hour of the original hangout. Also, I was in the process of rendering and then needed to upload my thank you video all the while that this was going on. Once the remote session ended with work, I proceeded with the Food for Thought's open mic. Curious as it turns out was running late as well. The problem was, for the first time ever, I was stuck with absolutely nothing to talk about. Now, we all know that open mic is supposed to be about having nothing in particular to talk about, but talking about something. But in this case, it should not be about nothing at all. I stammered on for about a minute, for what seemed like 30 minutes, about the No Dapple movement, and at that time, Bewildered Ape and Jenny had dropped by to say hi, which I was glad about that. Then a newcomer named Shadrach Mould brought up Jack Chick, who happened to have passed away recently. Now, you all may not have heard of him, but you've probably seen his work left on a dingy seat in the back of a city bus or subway train, or the bathroom of a bar. He writes and illustrates these tiny comic books that have deeply religious themes, and the consistent story kind of goes like this. You enjoy playing Dungeons and Dragons. You practice witchcraft. You die in a lake of fire in hell. You enjoy sex. You become an alcoholic. You die in a lake of fire in hell. You saw a porn mag. You turn gay. You die in a lake of fire in hell. That's pretty much the way it works in the Jack Chick comics. Anyway, the Food for Thought hangout was saved by Vuk and Curious, and we talked pretty solidly about the social psychological makeup of the black patriarch wannabe. It was Vuk who actually pointed out that their more aggressive espousing of misogyny and proclaiming that a patriarchal direction for the black community is the only end game to fixing our woes lies in the weakening of the grip that the black church has on the black community, and in turn, the black community losing faith in the black church. Vuk believes that the black church held a certain moral support or instilled in most black men in the past a sense of security as authoritarian figures in the houses that they were to lead and the community that they were to lead. I added that I also feel that the patriarchal wannabes are reacting to the economic disparity crisis, triggered by capitalism's slow decline. Years of downsizing, shutouts from dead industries, raises the question that all men are asking under the influence of patriarchy, which is, what is my purpose? How have I lost economic and political power? Because of this feeling of inadequacy, they turn to women as the blame for men's collective sense of being undermined, when that is far from the truth. It's patriarchy that needs to be rejected because it is an old and failing belief backed by an economic system that is also failing. They'd rather attack feminism and jump up and down and scream for submissiveness from those who they want to serve them, instead of rejecting the system that has falsely led them astray towards a losing side. It is capitalism that has taken their power away, not this false feminism that has gained this power that they have imagined. Well, that's all I have to say about last night. Now, this is unfortunately going to be a short Autonomous Lounge. I actually have a whole weekend packed full of social stuff to do with the family, starting tonight, as a matter of fact. But I'd still want to thank everyone who did tune in to last night's Food for Thought.
The spectacle is not a collection of images. It is a social relation between people that is mediated by images. Understood in its totality, the spectacle is both the result and the project of the dominant mode of production. It is not a mere decoration added to the real world. It is the very heart of this real society's unreality. In all its particular manifestations, news, propaganda, advertising, entertainment, the spectacle represents the dominant model of life.
I'm looking. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe everything.
In the spectacle's basic practice of incorporating into itself all the fluid aspects of human activity so as to possess them in a congealed form, and of inverting living values into purely abstract values, we recognize our old enemy, the commodity, which seems at first glance so trivial and obvious, yet which is actually so complex and full of metaphysical subtleties.
It was all part of the president's...
Another great tip is using heels. Even though they're not going to show, it makes you feel sexy and makes your...
The fetishism of the commodity, the domination of society by intangible as well as tangible things, attains its ultimate fulfillment in the spectacle, where the real world is replaced by a selection of images which are projected above it, yet which at the same time succeed in making themselves regarded as the epitome of reality.
So I am in love with bringing different sizes of chiclets that will fit in bathing suits. I have one in here.
I'm thinking about rereading Guy Debord's Society of the Spectacle, or is that Guy Debord? I'm forgetting now. Because I came away with it the first time I read it with a rather superficial understanding. And as I feel like I need to go ahead and give it a second reading. This image-saturated society that we live in has altered our perception of each other and our reality. I want to go deeper into how it does that. I feel that the choices of friends and mates that we make, even things that I've seen in the activist community and how we fret over how society would view or how the media would view us and our approach to protest and what we should be doing and shouldn't do and shouldn't say. I think it all has a lot to do with that connection of the spectacle. The spectacle being the almost living a commercial, if you will, or the most superficial existence that triggers our consumerism. So anyway, I want to reread that book. Well, that's all I have to say for now. This is The Garage Autonomist.